Hey you, what up? Welcome to my channel, welcome back. I'm Maryam, and in this video we are going to test new makeup to find out what's new in makeup for the month of January. This is not the final look, though I am wearing a skin tint and my brows are already done, but today I'm going to be testing out a bunch of different products from Milani, from Fenty, from Sigma, from Too Faced, just to name a few. So let's jump right into it. Remember to subscribe if you aren't already, notification bell for Wednesdays and Sundays videos. And now let's get into this video. What's new in makeup? January 2023. Here we come. So like I said, on my face, I am already wearing my Cali Ray skin tint that I love so desperately. It's such a great product. The shade that I'm wearing is shade 8. And right now my skin is on the good side. I do have like a couple of little bumps, little breakouts here and there. But for the most part, just like one sheer layer of this sheer skin tint works for me. This is something that I like to wear to the gym. And today I have a little early dinner girls night with some girls who you may know. So check out the gram and TikTok for the rest of that. Basically, I'm saying that because I actually want to test this new makeup and I want to apply it in a way that will work for me for the day. I want to keep this makeup and leave the house looking good, you know? The first thing that I'm going to do is reach for the first product, or rather products, from this Milani Facelift collection. It's called Conceal and Perfect. And basically what we have here are a bunch of under eye brighteners, we have liquid contours, and we also have liquid highlighters. And they all come in different shades or different skin tones. Is that a little bug? Excuse you. Basically like a rose color for brightening for the lighter skin tones. Then we have a melon for the medium. We have a pumpkin for the tans. And then we have a nectar for the deeper complexions. And then so on and so forth with the contours and with the highlighters. So I'm gonna go in with the first product. I actually want to test out the rose, which is meant for the fairest of skin tones. And mine isn't the fairest, but I really am into a slightly pinky under eye lately. I kind of like that trend, so I feel like I want to test this out. Off the bat, I don't like this applicator. It reminds me of like the Maybelline concealers, which are great products, but this is so unsanitary. I hate using this type of applicator, even on myself, and I'm not even a makeup artist who works on other people. All right, ooh, that just squeezed out a lot of product. Holy crap. All right, let's try it. I'm gonna try to go for just a little bit. I don't know if you guys can tell, my face is a pinch swollen today. I swear to you, I had just one margarita last night. We went out to one of our favorite Colombian restaurants where they serve great margaritas with some salt on the rim. And I am just one of those people that should probably stay away from anything that contains too much sodium. Like I can't do the regular soy sauce. It has to be the less sodium one. I can't do the salt on the rim of a margarita. Like every time I just wake up the next day with a puffy face and it pisses me off so much because like I said, I am really trying to look good today. So yeah, so my under eye is just like a little bit swollen. Even my lids are a little bit swollen, but you know what? It's life, so we'll deal with it. So I'm just blending this out with my finger. I don't know why I just went in so confidently with my finger, but at first impression, I really like this. I think the color is flattering. It's definitely brightening. I like that it's slightly sheer, so it's not like difficult to blend out. It's kind of reminding me of the Fenty Under Eye Brightener that I love so much, the Bright Fix. But the fact that it comes in like a color correcting tone is really nice. So the product itself is good. Hate the applicator. Let's move on. I'm gonna grab the lightest honey liquid contour and also the ginger, which is the second lightest, just because I'm not someone who prefers a very heavy contour. I like to stay on the lighter side, but I'm not sure if this honey is too light for me. I'm gonna test out both. All right, let's squeeze out a little bit. Wow, squeezes out fast. And I'm just gonna dot a little bit. Okay, so this shade on me will serve more as like a contour shadow type of shade. Just gonna add a little bit to the perimeter of my forehead, a little bit under the lip, a little bit under the chin, and that's pretty much all I want to do. Yeah, okay, right here too. So then this, I'm actually not gonna blend out with my fingers. I'm gonna use this Rare Beauty foundation brush, and I'm gonna blend it. I like it. I like the fact that this shade, even though it's pretty light, it has a cool undertone, so it's working as a contour. It's not really bronzing me up, it's just giving me that definition that I was looking for. So if you're like me, just keep in mind that this shade will work for you even if you're not fair-skinned, you know? Let's do the cheekbones. That's nice. Me gusta mucho. A rather pleasant experience indeed. Okay. So what I like about this product is the amount of pigment. Like, there's enough pigment, but not too much, so that I can actually blend it out and make it seamless with my foundation or with my skin tint. But not too bad. Really, not too bad. I'm not even gonna try the ginger number 2. Or maybe I should. I mean, since I said I was gonna, let me just go ahead and do it. I'm gonna add some just to the forehead. I feel like this might be a little bit more of a bronzy shade or something to, you know, warm up and bronze up with. So I think I'm gonna try to squeeze out just a pinch like that, yeah, and then blend that out on top. Again, this is like a good mix between a bronzer and a contour shade. Not too orange whatsoever, but also not too shadow-like, you know, not gray. So I like it. It's kind of like a flesh tone shade, I would say. And the pigment is really, really decent. Okay, Milani, you did that. Je suis impressed, a first impression. All right, let's try the highlighter. I'm gonna go for the lightest shade, shade 1 Lunar, which to me just seems like the prettiest shade out of all of them. The second shade that's meant for medium skin tones is like a little bit too bronzy pinky, so I far prefer a gold highlight, so that's why I'm gonna go for this Lunar. Actually, I think this shade might be a pinch dark for the fairer skin tones. There needs to be something a little bit cooler, like something a little bit more pearlescent for the cooler skin tones, because I don't think this type of shade, you see how it kind of casts a shadow, like a color when I turn to the side? I don't think this will work for anyone much lighter than me. All right, so I'm just strategically adding it to some of the areas of my face. I'm gonna use the Sephora blush brush and just kind of, ooh, stipple that out. This dries quickly. Oh crap. It's staining the skin. Like it will actually leave the 3 dots if you don't blend it out immediately. Shoot. I'm gonna do this with my fingers because I feel like the warmth of the fingers will do it better than the brush. Okay, not a lot of playing room here. Not like the other 2 products. So I guess I'll have a dot on my nose. Not so bad, I was able to work it. A really cute color, but I'm not so sold on the formula just yet. And I don't know if the glow is like enough for me. I mean, like there's a glow, but I don't know if it packs a punch, if you know what I mean. So now I'm gonna move on to my concealer. So I've already brightened my under eye. I have some refills of the NARS Creamy Concealer that I love. A bunch of different shades. Thank you, NARS, for always keeping me well stocked. I am gonna reach for shade Ginger, which is the one that I always use. I'm gonna go right on top of this eye brightener, which by the way, has not creased one bit. And I have not yet set it. So this might be a nice product to wear just on your own. If you don't have like too much of a dark circle issue, this might be okay to just wear by itself. Okay, Miss Milani. I'm gonna blend this out with the Rare Beauty concealer brush. Honestly, this concealer is pretty pigmented, so it knocked out any of the brightness that I just worked on. But that's okay, we're testing makeup, and you know what? I'm well familiar with this concealer, so I know it's gonna look good. I'm not worried. And this is a shade that I typically use if I want to shade match, not necessarily brighten. I feel like that did it. Okay, so in this collection, we also have a powder, and it's the Conceal and Perfect Blur Out Powder in the shade Translucent. So I'm not sure how smoothing this is for me, because most things are just not smoothing enough for my liking, but I do like this compact. I love the fact that it closes, so I appreciate that. I am going to go in lightly at first. I'm gonna use my Charlotte T brush. This is just from like a gift set from a holiday collection or something like that, which is why it's small. I'm gonna dip, and then I'm gonna set this under eye, which now creased, of course, because I added a much creamier concealer on top. Oh baby, this is really smooth. Oh sweetie, I think we may need to show you a close-up. Wow. Okay. Okay, so first I'm gonna dip, 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 dip. And now I'm gonna apply just to the under eye. What do you think? Pretty smooth, no? The only thing I'm not liking is that I feel like it actually changed the color of my concealer and under eye brightener. So this is definitely a smoothing powder, but unfortunately it is not translucent as they say. This definitely has some sort of color, because I'm seeing myself in my mirror right now and my under eye is looking like a little too peachy, more peachy than what I was going for. So I don't know if we can make that work for me. I don't know if I can fix it actually. Maybe with like a really bright pinky powder, but yeah, I'm gonna need to think of something. Maybe I can set the rest of the face with this and see how it's feeling, how it's going. I don't know if I'm about to make a big mistake, but F it. All right, I'm gonna use my Jones Road pencil just to conceal any small bumps and imperfections. I have just a couple of, you know, unwanted freckles that I like to get rid of. Just a couple of spots here and there. All right, and now I'm gonna go back to this powder. I'm gonna use a much bigger brush, this one from Wayne Goss, number 12. This is weird. This powder is definitely setting on the patchy side. So although it looks very smooth, the color itself is clinging to some areas, which is sad because I really wanted this to work. I'm gonna show you another close-up of just the forehead so you can see what I mean. Okay, so here's the forehead, and you can clearly see right here, there's like this weird patch of powder that just seems to be clinging, and you can clearly see it when I turn my head side to side. It's just kind of sitting there. Not happy about that. Probably gonna have to wash off my face. Let's go in all the way then. Let's just like try everything. I'm gonna attempt to fix this mess on my forehead with the Essence 16 Hour Cover and Last Powder Foundation. This one's pretty pigmented, so I'm hoping it will cover up everything. I think it is. I think it's actually just adding like a nice veil. Maybe this makeup can be saved. Maybe, but I'm not yet sure about the under eye. The under eye still looks just like a little bit too dark. It's not translating so much in the monitor though, but in my mirror over here, I'm seeing some discoloration that I'm not liking. Time for blush. In the blush category, we have some newness from Too Faced. We've got a new palette called Pinker Times Ahead. We have a highlighter, we have 6 blushes, and a killer liner in a new color. So I'm gonna test out these blushes because they look really, really cute. Actually glad there's a highlighter in here because that Milani one was just not enough for me. The color that's looking the most beautiful to me is this bubblegum pink, of course. This one is called Candy Clouds. I'm gonna go ahead and apply this with that same blush brush that I used before to blend out the highlighter. I'm just gonna use the other side. Wow. Pretty pigmented. All right, I'm gonna attempt to apply this from the temple down. Oh, this smells amazing. Kind of like the margarita that I had last night, but with something else in there. Maybe a pina colada. The color is really, really dainty, really beautiful. It's applying evenly, no streaks, no clinginess, no patchiness. I like it a lot. This is a keeper for me. I'm such a lover of like a blue-based bubblegum pink type of blush. It's like my favorite. I just think this type of color looks so flattering on medium skin tones, especially if you have like a golden undertone like I do. It just pops against, you know? I'm gonna take a little bit of blush and try to add it to my under eye. I don't know if that worked, but it definitely did something. Love. And while I'm at it, I'm just gonna go ahead and show you some of the other colors. We've got Watermelon Rain, so pretty. We've got Velvet Crush, kind of like a nudie. Head in the Clouds is next, slightly lighter, like a rosy nude. And then we have some corals. Golden Hour, also very, very pretty, like a pinky coral. And lastly, we have Tequila Sunset. Tequila, which is like a coral. Love. Typically when I get like a full range of colors in a PR package, I like to keep maybe just like 2 colors or like my 2 favorite ones. But in this case, I think I might be keeping all of them. They all look really, really pretty. And I definitely want to test out all the colors, especially since the first application was so easy and so nice. And I feel like it's bright enough, but not overpowering. All right, so let's test out this highlighter since we're at it. Pinker Times Ahead. I'm gonna swatch it first. Whoa, baby, that is pigmented. And very, very pink. So this is definitely something that would look best on the lightest of skin tones, but I'm gonna try it anyway. I'm gonna dip the same brush. I'm gonna apply it just to the back of the cheekbone. Ooh, and it is so pretty. It is so, so dainty. This I love. This is really, really nice. And not just for the lightest of skin tones. I think this would actually pop beautifully on the deepest of skin tones as well. And of course, everything in between. I just think the key with this type of color is to really layer it over blush, especially a blush that is on the pinky side. And I think the result is really, really stunning. What do you guys think? Pinker Times Ahead or nah? All right, so I almost forgot to use my Bare Minerals powder to set my pores and make them go away. Basically like to do that here and on the other side of the face, just to mattify them and blur them. This also works with acne scars if you have any. And I have some on the sides of my nose from like picking pimples when I was a teenager. Moving on. Are we feeling this Pinker Times Ahead palette or not really? I mean, yeah, it's cute, it's pink, it's girly, but I've seen this 100 times before from Too Faced and from so many other brands. It's just, I'm not feeling this color story at the moment. This is just like a little too pastel-y for where I'm at in life, you know? It is winter. I am still wearing all black every day. So I don't know if I'm there yet. So instead, I'm actually gonna go for another palette. And this one is actually from Sigma in collaboration with KNOOK or NOOK. I'm not sure if I'm saying it correctly, but Anne has been on social media since probably the same time as I have, and I've been following her for so long. I've never met her in person, but she's so lovely, and she has just collaborated with Sigma. Sigma has collaborated with Anne, so congratulations to both Sigma and Anne Nook, or Nook. on this collection. I'm very excited to test this out. So let me go ahead and open this up. We've got an eyeshadow palette here. Ooh, would you look at that? Lots of beautiful warm shades for every day. And also some cooler shades, some grayer shades and some blues and purples and some creamy whites. This is nice. What do I always say? I always say that in my humble belief and opinion, Sigma uses better quality eyeshadows when it comes to their collabs. Yes, they do. I'm sorry I say it every single time, but it's true. Usually their eyeshadow palettes don't really impress me as much as their collab eyeshadow palettes do. So I'm expecting big things. All right, we also have a favorites brush set and Sigma. Let me see how many there are. There are 6. Looks like we have the flat detailer brush. We've got the blending brush, the tapered blending brush, medium tapered blending brush, small tapered blending brush, and precision firm blender. So if you don't know Anne, if you have not seen her work, which I would be really shocked if you have not seen her work, she is kind of known for these super well blended out eyeshadow looks, eye close-ups. She does these amazing videos, and a lot of it is like technique based, technique focused. So I can totally understand why there's so many blending brushes in this brush set, because this makes sense. I mean, look at that. Look at that blend. I'm gonna go ahead and prime my lids. I'm gonna use my GERARD Cosmetics white base. Apply this all over and blend a little bit past the crease just to give my eye a nice crisp, clean canvas. I'm gonna go ahead and dip into this shade called Virgo. I kind of want to go for something minimalistic today. Not too much, but just enough for a little early girls' night dinner. Gonna use this E25 blending brush from the set. Dip into Virgo. I'm gonna apply this all over the lid. Yup, as expected, quality is very, very soft on this. Pigmentation is better than the average Sigma palette. The blend is really, really seamless, and I really like this color. I'm kind of just packing this all over, so I'm not really using this as a blending brush. I'm just using this as a packing brush, which you can totally use it for because it is flat enough and it is wide enough. Kind of just painting it on. Next, I'm gonna take a small tapered blending brush, E45. I'm gonna dip into this brown shade here called July 11th, and with this one, just gonna etch out the corner ever so slightly. Wow, so easy and so soft. And then I'm gonna keep this brush handy and just kind of tap it out, blend it with the previous shadow. Just want to give a little bit of roundness to the eye. I don't want it to seem so flat today, you know, even though it is. Like, this lid is clearly filled with water. I just don't want to look as swollen as I do. Anyway, while I'm blending, I have a little short story for you guys. Quick little story time about a dream I had this morning that scared the crap out of me, but I'm fine. So any of you dream interpreters out there, feel free to chime in. So last night I had quite a number of vivid dreams, but the one that really stuck with me is the one that I had this morning, right before it was time for me to wake up. I was walking on 42nd Street here in New York City, and if you're familiar with 42nd Street, you know that it is pretty packed almost throughout, except for when you get to like 9th Avenue, 10th Avenue area, it suddenly becomes very residential and pretty empty. So anyway, so I was walking literally on 42nd between 9th and 10th in my dream, surrounded by no one, when I suddenly see a small alligator or perhaps a large lizard coming towards me on 42nd Street. So my natural instinct was to grab my phone and to take a picture of it for social media, and of course to post it everywhere, because who the heck sees alligators or even large lizards in New York City in the middle of freaking January? And as I was about to take out my phone and take a picture, I noticed that this creature was crawling much faster than I was anticipating. So then I said, okay, you know what? This is not a great idea. Let me actually turn around and let me make sure I do not cross paths with this creature. And the moment I turned around, there was another one very close behind me. So at that point, I started to panic, did not know which way to go, when all of a sudden I noticed these girls sitting by the tree, and I recognized these girls as these very savage high school girls that I went to high school with. And I noticed that these girls were eating these lizard alligator creatures. And then my dream quickly turned to these lizards eating other people. And mind you, there were not a lot of people on 42nd Street between 9th and 10th, but there was like literally a homeless person that was being eaten by these creatures. And at this point, I am beyond panicking. I'm thinking, this is the apocalypse. It is coming down. There's nowhere for me to go. There's nowhere for me to run. When suddenly, I felt one on my leg. And at that moment, I kicked my sheets so hard with all of my might to the point that I probably kicked one of my cats, and I definitely frightened Lee, the Swatch model. He literally woke up, was like, oh, what? At that moment, I realized I was dreaming, and I said to him, I just had a terrible dream, but I'm fine. And then one of my cats, my cat Hero, the big fluffy one, he literally came over to me. He came up to like my neck area. He hugged me with both paws, and he helped me fall back asleep for like another 30 minutes, and it was like the sweetest sleep I had. So that's basically the end of my short story, which actually turned out to be pretty long, but at least I'm done with blending. So any of you dream interpreters out there, what do you think? Is the apocalypse really coming, or am I feeling like little problems are getting in my way and are about to eat me alive? Let me know. Now that I got that off my chest, let's see if I can dip into a couple more colors. I'm thinking I need a little bit of illumination on these lids. I'm gonna dip into this very safe gold color called Adorn. I'm gonna layer that to the center and basically the entire lid. And this is very soft, very sparkly, very pretty, just like a classic, calm, wearable daytime smoky with a little bit of shimmer, a little bit of gold. This is basically like my regular look that I do all the time. Got all the colors that you need, but now I'm thinking I might want a little bit more. I'm gonna dip that same brush, E45, in this brown shade, Cacao, much darker brown. I'm gonna run that along the top of the lash line, but sticking just to the outer portion of the lash line and kind of going in a diagonal and just like lifting this whole corner. Very, very gently, very, very softly. Just like that, that's it, that's all I want. I do the same thing here. Very, very soft shadows, you guys. Very nice. Sigma pulling out the best for their collabs, as they should. Now I'm gonna take that first brush that I used and just kind of blend it all together in that outer portion. Softly lift, easy peasy. I'm gonna close up this palette. I feel like it did what it needed to do for me. I'm gonna add some mascara. I actually have a new product from Maybelline that I wanna try out, and it is their Sky High Tinted Primer in the shade black. I've never heard of a black mascara primer, so this sounds different, I guess. I'm gonna quickly curl my lashes. REPHR Lash Curler is what I'm using. God, it feels so good to just like release that off my chest. I don't know if you guys felt my energy being kind of weird. I definitely felt like my energy was a little bit off, and I honestly think it's because this dream I had really spooked the shit out of me. I am a cat mom. I am not into lizards or alligators, let alone eating them or having them eat people. No, I'm gonna try this primer. It is indeed black. It does have one of those gimmicky type of wands. It's plastic, but the product itself is applying. It's really coating my lashes in a mascara-like way. So I'm not really sure what about this product makes it a primer, because it looks like a mascara to me. But perhaps I need to see the full effect with the mascara on top. No, you guys, I kind of like this primer. Even though I'm not a huge fan of the Maybelline Sky High mascara, it is so overhyped in my opinion, and so incredibly overrated, especially for those of us with shorter lashes. It absolutely does not work. It's just too heavy of a product, but I'm wondering how it will pair with this. And of course I do have the Sky High mascara right here in the shade Black is Black, so I'm gonna pair them together. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and attempt to apply this over. Okay, so what I'm seeing is that the mascara is actually blacker than the primer. Not like dramatically blacker, but enough to be noticed. And I guess the primer does something to make the lashes a little bit stiffer. So in my case, where my lashes are very, very short and very, very straight, I actually think this helped to keep the curl upright without weighing it down. So maybe this primer is doing something. I kind of like the effect. I love the fact that I can see my lashes. They look huge. Though I'm not sure that this is waterproof. So if it isn't waterproof, it might just smudge on me throughout the day, but you know what? We're going for it. We're keeping our fingers crossed. Kind of pretty, not gonna lie. I actually think because my eyes are a little bit swollen today, it's helping this lifted smoky eye appear a little bit more perfect. Maybe because the canvas is a little bit more flat, so it's easier to blend. I guess that happens. Are we ready for lips? I might not be ready for these lips because I kid you not, every single time I try this gosh darn refillable lipstick from Fenty, I seem to break the actual fill-in. But I'm gonna try one more time, and I'm gonna get my instructions right in front of me. I'm gonna do this right this time. We've got Kissin Cutie, beautiful red. We've got Frequent Flyer, get it? Frequent Flyer. Nice deep rusty burgundy. And last but not least, we have Danger Dancer, like an orangey red. So now that we've got the shades and I've got them all completely retracted back, I'm going to attach the base of the lipstick to the fill. Is that right? There we go. It snapped. It clicked. Next, I'm gonna insert the lipstick, bullet first, into open end of case. All right, you see it's closed. We are inserting. Make sure the bullet is twisted all the way down. I'm going to double make sure. Out, all the way down. Press until it clicks to secure. Okay, you guys, and here's the moment of truth. Twist the base so the bullet pops out to apply. Ta-da! Oh my God, I am so happy right now. What an amazing feeling. I think I must have broken at least 4 or 5 of these, and I've tried so many different times to follow the instructions, and somehow it took me a lot of tries and a lot of practice to get this perfect. They now actually even have a QR code on the back just to show you how it's done. I guess they've heard of all of our complaints. All right, so this is the color that I'm gonna go for. Kissin' Cutie. But before I apply it, I am gonna line my lips with this lip liner from Jaclyn. It is called Bow, B-O-W, not like my cat Bow, B-E-A-U, but pronounced the same. Let's draw the Cupid's bow. I don't know why lining the lips on camera is such a stressful ordeal for me. Every single time, I swear I lined it crookedly or I didn't hit the corners or something. I don't know. But anyway, let's try this Kissin' Cutie. It's beautiful. I kind of love it with the eyes. Suddenly, this red lipstick just made me feel so much prettier than before, just so much more put together. I also think these colors, these reds, are really nice for Lunar New Year and just like for the season. You know, I really like wearing red lipstick all year round, whether it's in the summertime against like a fresh tan or in the winter time for Valentine's Day, for a date, for anything. I just always thought that a red lip was so flattering, was so super feminine, like ultra chic and just so classic. So I love this. I think this is a really, really, really beautiful shade that pulled the whole look together. Now I feel like a little bit more elevated, definitely elevated, and better than before, for sure. Better than before. So I guess with that, we're at the end of the video. I am feeling uplifted. I'm feeling a little bit more awake, a little bit less swollen, definitely more creative and better put together than when I started this video. So I guess that is the energy that I'm going to pass on to you. I hope you take my energy. I hope you transform it into something even better, even more positive, and pass it along. That's what we're here to do. So I am gonna zoom on out. I'm gonna wish you guys an awesome day ahead. I love you. Peace out, and I'm out. More videos over here. Click them. Deuces.